If you understand player abilities and if you understand player skills combined, this is the terrible graph there, but you get what I mean. If you understand those two, you don't necessarily need to use a player to know if he's good or bad. Obviously, I do have the gold version. I think if you have the gold version, you kinda not need an upgrade. It just depends. Because obviously this is the gold version, right? And usually there are certain key abilities, right? For your DMF, for example, right? And you got the skills here. Like a lot of times you don't need to use a player to know if he's good or bad. Soul control, actually. Soul control used to be called step on the ball control. Combined with two more skills can do an bar rule. So again, he's a destroyer. I wish he could play CMF. Obviously, destroyer card is active as a CB, DMF, and CMF. Some of you guys, if you don't know, every single player playing style, it's active for certain position. Gold Poacher is only active as a CF. Fox in the Box only active as a CF, and so on. Anchorman only active as a DMF. I usually like my destroyer be able to play CMF, but if you use him as a CMF, he's going to drop a lot of rating. And to be honest, Beckham doesn't play CMF. He's 100 rated as a right midfielder. I use him as a CMF 91 rated. He's doing all right. So I don't know. Because if I use Makelele as a CMF, I can't see let's say he's 94 rated as a DMF, right? If I use him as a CMF who's faded out, can't say out of position. Out of position would be like a fullback or a striker. So if I use him as a CMF, let's say from 90 drops to 85, we don't see any particular ability. Like, see those abilities? We don't see any of them going minus or plus. None of them. The only way you can see a player having a minus or plus in their individual ability is when you go into a match and you can see a player condition formatter. We should be able to see when a player drops overall rating, which particular abilities kind of drops or not. But beyond that, depends. If I'm playing long ball counter, I don't think I need speed, personally, right? Someone else, whether it's top 100, whether it's not even Division 1 guys, we have the freedom to train players differently based on how you like to play. However, I don't usually review things based on 100% meta because I understand not everybody's meta, right? And not everybody's good at meta. For a DMF, usually I would say, yeah, I think if you want to go what's effective in the game, you need speed for every fucking player, especially your defenders. Imagine all your defenders should be like Pepe in real life, right? What does Pepe has? Speed, aggression, G-Clee style double leg tackling. Pepe barely knows how to pass, even in real life, to be honest. But listen, man, not everybody likes that. Most people like to play a little bit of a build-up. He wants a DMF that he can trust on the ball and make a decent pass. For a lot of people, having one-touch pass is important for your DMF. Imagine you're under pressure, one pass from your defense to your DMF, boom. Sometime it could change the game. But most people play long ball counter, just one pass outside your own half, that could work too. So could be personal preference in a way, really. So you either go with personal preference or what you prefer, how you like to play, or you go by only what's effective in the game. That means speed, aggression for defenders. And of course, defensive awareness, that's a pretty obvious one. We're not going to say how we're going to level them up. We don't have them yet. I got Schmeichel, Casillas, Oliver Kahn. Best goalkeeper for me has to be Casillas. He's just short. Schmeichel is better because he's taller for me. The way I trained Casillas, he's got almost every stat as 90. He's the best goalkeeper that patties the ball into safe zones, preventing rebounds. Now, Pericek at level 1, he's got 82. So that means his offensive awareness can be higher than most of the goalkeepers I have, actually, I think. There's one Japanese pro player, Mayageka, if you guys know him. He only gives offense GK awareness to his goalkeepers. I swear, the way he trained Pericek, 96 GK awareness. I wish I could understand Japanese because he talks about it in his YouTube channel as well, you know? I want to know how fucking good it goes. Like, he's got Petacek, all abilities like 80, but GK awareness 96. But the thing is, though, he's Japanese, plays a Japanese game, he's got Japanese friend, and he did an interview. He did an interview with a developer. So a guy who goes mano a mano with the developer, and he trains his players, his GK, highest possible GK awareness. Maybe he knows something. Anyway, low punt, long throw, that's important. Yep. GK penalty saver, captaincy. I mean, how tall goalkeepers are good, man. Anything above 190 is good. But for goalkeepers, first of all, GK awareness should be highest. If it's a big guy, reflexes. If it's a short guy, reach. And then you go for catching and patting. Obviously, you cannot level them up individually. The meta in this game is, if you guys don't know what meta stands for most effective tactic available. It sounds fancy, but it isn't that. It's not about most effective tactic. Most effective available, but not necessarily tactic. You're basically taking advantage of the game's weak mechanics and use that to your strength, for your advantage. That's what meta is. Or only use what's effective. It goes both ways. Excuse me. Good thing is, like Van Nistelrooy, lacks physical contact and balance. But Van Nistelrooy, I don't even think he can be faster or has crazy high acceleration. But with Drogba, you'll have insane offense awareness, insane finishing, heading. And not only that, dude, this right here, aerial superiority. Even the big guys without aerial superiority, they're not going to be that good. Haaland is a different thing. It's like fucking Pedri. Pedri can be Van Dijk / Patrick Vieira Romario. That's Pedri. Scissor feint, heading combined with aerial superiority, that's perfect for a guy. You better play a crossing game. Fighting spirit, one-touch pass helps since his passing is really bad. First time shot helps for a tap-in. Captaincy, gamesmanship, blow. Let me show you a short clip what low balance does. Watch Van Nistelrooy. Oh, yep. You saw that? Watch again. He's gone. He's gone. Now, the meta in this game, really, it's speed, acceleration, high balance, tight position, ball control, dribbling. Obviously, if a player's fast with low dribbling, it makes no sense because he's not going to be that good running with the ball. Put it this way, tight position combined with balance is good for slow dribbling. Actually, balance with speed as well. So balance is important in the game for your strikers. Otherwise, this is what's going to happen. That's Van Nistelrooy. Oh, can you get back up? So, but obviously, it's like a fight between high physical contact and high balance. So Drogba physically can beat, most defenders are physically strong, right? So imagine what kind of animation you're going to get in a game where the collision system is terrible. Defenders don't have high balance, most of them. So imagine you're Drogba with physical contact 90 against Van Dijk with high physicality. I would love to see that fucking duel. The game is just going to glitch the fuck out. One of them is going to go away 10 fucking meters. Or Drogba with physical contact 90, Pedri with shoulder charge him. But, yeah. So for me, he's going to be a good guy. You know, everybody got Messi and Neymar, even my grandma does. So a tall striker like him in the midfield, you don't necessarily need to play a crossing game. You could play a fucking cutback tapping game like Germany did, annihilated everybody back in the World Cup. So for me, I would only use him because I usually like to use different players. Beyond that, I'd rather save my coin, really. Because at this point, I'm done testing players, man. I've tested so many players. And as I said, if you understand player ability combined with their skills, you don't need to use a player. I have videos explaining player ability and the skill. Once you understand that, you can just look at the player, review them yourself. You don't need third-party app, you don't need to train them, you don't need to compare them. Certain players within reason have player ID and so on. I think we did reviewed Makalele as well, a destroyer with high defensive work, good passing. Don't run with him with the ball. You know, don't run with him with the ball because his dribbling is terrible. If I would train Makalele, ball control, tight position, definitely green tier, 80 or plus. His passing is good, I ain't give him none. Speed, acceleration. I mean, I'll try to give speed at least to 78 maybe. Acceleration, just make it orange tier because can't go any higher. I would like to give him more balance. Therefore, I'm going to have, well, I like to give him more physical contact. But the problem is, dude, the collision system is terrible. And if they patch the game where, well, collision system is better and you didn't train your players physically, you're going to have a problem too. I wish he had a blocker, though. He's got interception. Interception, sliding tackle. One touch pass, through passing. Let me see the difference between him and the gold one in terms of skill. So the epic big time one has through passing. Really important. As it says, through passing. Through passing. The gold one has scissor feint, double touch, and sombrero. So this is how I trained all three new Chelsea legends. As we reviewed Drogba, it's difficult to make him to have high balance and acceleration, especially if a striker doesn't have acrobatic finishing. You know, it's not acrobatic finish, it's not just for bicycle kicks. You can finish off balance as well. Difficult situations. So low balance, no acrobatic finish is a problem. But if you're like me, you like trying different players, then he was all right. You know, I had a couple of goals last night with him. He actually scored every match, actually. But obviously, getting matched against a sweaty guy, Meta, top 500, probably won't be able to do much with him unless you get lucky with crosses. And in terms of Peracek, ability-wise, Schmeichel and Casillas has catching and parrying higher. So individual ability-wise, he doesn't have all of them above 85. So I'm interested to see a tall guy with 90 reach, how bad his parrying is going to be. Because for a 95 rated, parrying is low. Ideally, he's going to parry the ball into not so safe zones, meaning going to give away a lot of rebounds. Casillas gives away less rebounds. He's got like 90 parrying. And with Makelele, we compare them with the gold one. Honestly, the gold one is still good. I think the gold one, this one is more defensive than the gold one, because the gold one has like Marseille turn, sombrero, double touch, and all that. Also, the gold one has 90 balance and higher acceleration. So this one is more defensive.